Hey, what's going on, people? I'm back already, but I'm not live. Happy New Year. It's the 1st of January, and I just thought I'd maybe kind of reflect on my experience last night because I actually found myself partially dreaming about some of the interactions in my live stuff. It was enjoyable. It was also an interesting challenge. And every time I do it, I learn something, and that's kind of what I'm reflecting on, what I'm learning. One of the things that I find very, very disappointing is just there's just a really juvenile tone to a lot of people's communication. And it's really kind of, not perplexing, but it's just unfortunate that we're at a time where so many adults, I'm assuming you folks I'm talking to are adults, are like that. I for example, when I would explain certain things, then it would be like, so some of the people may be just now coming online and seeing that we hadn't talked about it. There's the other folks who are probably just trying to get a reaction, which is just really, I think, strange. You know, that's what you're here for, is to get a reaction. And ultimately, what will happen when I do it again? I deleted some people in some of the live stuff I did. I'll be a little more proactive on that when it's like, okay, I don't need to be so patient with this, because I'm patient with people. That's one of the reasons why I was good at my work in mental health and won awards, because I was able to tolerate and work with people who a lot of other professionals didn't want to touch. Reminds me when I was still just a psychiatric technician in my early days working in psych hospitals. I stopped working with children early on because it was just so difficult for me, emotionally heartbreaking. I can remember this one little boy. I can almost remember his name. He was 9 when I worked with him on the children's ward, and he was a child who was so neglected that he had been raised in a closet, and they never let him out of the closet, and so as a result, he had developed like this, curled up. He couldn't walk. He could barely talk, and part of my job, besides feeding him, was to take turns with other nurses and staff, just gently helping him to start to stretch out his extremities. And all this stuff just brings that up to me, working mental health. That was a tough one, but I'm glad to say I saw progress before he left the hospital on his recovery. But I think mostly what I'm reflecting on is how human beings, it's like the scope of personality and behavior. Interesting. Had some good exchanges. I'm not interested in dick size comparison, okay? Because I do pick up on that, where some of you folks are just trying your best to stump me, or have you heard? That's really not fun, and that's not interesting. If you're asking or wanting to mention artists to share for a particular reason, that's useful. But just seeing if you can get me, that's no fun. That's really childish, okay? To me, it is. The other thing I want to say is that, yes, I am sharing my opinion, and you can share your opinion with me. But I want to say again that when I encounter people sharing their opinions, like declaring these statements, like this is the way it is, it's like, I don't do that. Please know that I don't do that. I tell you what trips my trigger and why I love it and why I get excited. But I don't tell you that everybody else is supposed to feel the same way. And some of you people do that, and that just is really insane because we all don't think alike. We all see the world through our own individual filters. So declaring that everyone else is wrong because you're right, because you're seeing things a certain way is bullshit, and I'm not doing that. The main thing that I'll do that I stand correct on is treat people nicely, be a good person. Shitty behavior, I'm gonna call that out. There's no excuse for it. That's where I draw the line, okay? But sharing your opinion is fine, but making declarations is, again, it's like, what is the point? To me, it's like a wasted ego expression. I'm just here hanging out, sharing my time with you folks from my home, sharing with you that this is my big trip. My big love is music. So have I actually played a record yet in 2022? No. Have I listened to any music yet this morning? Yes. Before I went to the store, I noticed online that there was a Comsat Angels album online that I had not heard. It was later. I'm going to go into my history and tell you the name of it. So I popped that on as I was getting ready to go to the store. I just came back from a grocery store. I was supposed to get some snow. I had not heard this album by Comsat Angels called The Glamour from 1995. Excuse me. So I put that on, and my honest assessment of it is that it's they're trying. Stephen Fellows is still trying to make something happen, but the initial spark of I didn't listen to all the songs, but most of what I heard really did not sound very inspired. It sounded like I can make another record. I'm going to try one more time. That's what it sounds like. I love the Comsat Angels. I hadn't heard that. So that's the first music I played in 2022. Do I have some sort of tradition like that? I used to. When I was younger, it was a big deal to, what's the first record I listened to? What's the first record I bought? What's the first CD I bought? What's the first show I went to? All that is just gone, So it's really cold here in Omaha. Some snow they said that we were getting hasn't arrived yet. I was talking about it online, and then a friend tells me that the snow is in Lincoln, headed here. So that's why I'm glad I went to the store. I really didn't need to. I just, you like to have that extra backup, you know what I'm saying? It's really cold out, so back home, I'm going to chill out today. No big plans. The one thing that I am doing is, again, spending a little time on social media, sharing thoughts and encouragement. My thought about 2022 is this: I don't do New Year's aspirations anymore. I just it's a really empty to me. My thought is, if 2022 is going to be better, then that means we all have to be better, and we all have to consciously do something to make it better. I'm not hopeful because just the great large swaths of humanity are on autopilot all the time, as well as life is so out of balance regarding the inequality of wealth, people who are struggling just to eat and get diapers for their babies, in juxtaposition to the 1% who have everything. This is a huge chasm and a divide that guarantees that the quagmire of crap is going to go on. And yet the only real solution we have to it is for all of us to do our part, which is never going to happen. I'm not a pessimist. I'm a realist, I have good days and I have joy. But part of it is because I don't need to run away from what I see as reality. That doesn't work. That's like doing drugs to run away from pain, which I don't do. I have in the past, okay? We really need to, one thing that is needed that is not happening is, especially here in my country, America, there is a need for people to try and approach the idea of working together more and thinking on in terms of what the group needs as opposed to my rights, my rights. I'm into my rights, but when you're so stubbornly into your rights to the point that you're ignoring what's happening all around you, which I'm saying is what I see going on. People are still acting like they used to, and things ain't like they used to be. We need to initiate this move forward. No music really. Last thing I'll say is this, because this is on my mind. So it's another fucking election year, and already I was listening to NPR, and they've already started it with the Senate. From my perspective, that bullshit where we cannot get past this politicking, it guarantees failure, and it guarantees that we're going to have another year of absolute bullshit, because society, because of rich people, I think, and business, think that we have to play politics, that that's actually more important than actually solving problems. That's what we're dealing with, from my perspective. It's like we're in a pretend real world where everyone is... It's so weird to me. I hate politics. I do. Okay. So one record I played last night, Cold Blue. This is a compilation of artists associated with either a studio... But the reason why I bought it is because it has a Harold Budd track on here that is not available anywhere else that I know of. Daniel Lentz is on here as well. Do you know his music? Beautiful. Michael John Fink and Eugene Bowen are the other names I knew. And Ingram Marshall were the names I knew. Listened to this last night. Some of it was kind of tepid. It's like a lot of this is kind of ambient, and even you could call it experimental. There's some spoken word stuff on here that's just boring. But I played that last night. Besides continuing to listen to, and I tweet some more. I'm working on this music. That's what helps me stay sane. Is I just do music, art, whatever. Keep the brain stimulated. So keep talking to me, people. I enjoy it. I do. Share your thoughts with me, okay? And just like I need to check myself sometimes, check yourselves when you want to come over here and step to me with some kind of attitude. Wait. Check yourself. What is wrong with you? I ain't done nothing to you. Seriously. Check yourself. Come over here trying to unload some shit. What's going on with you? I'll even bring that up. I won't say the name. I had someone who occasionally will get a hold of me. I don't know him, never met him. I have his music, I'll say that much. But the way this person approaches me, it's like they want to get into a conversation. They want to pull me in because they need something. And I recognize it, and I just say it. I just said it yesterday right away to him. Okay, you're asking me, am I okay? The fact of the matter is, are you okay? And no, I don't want to talk about it. Okay? Get your shit together, okay? And one of the things I learned about those sort of messages is people will call when they're just all broke down, and a lot of times they're drunk or too high to be talking. Don't waste my time. I have a lot of experience with that. So it's like, it only takes a little while for me to realize, okay, this person is just not in shape, So I don't even bother, okay? So, everybody, tighten up. If anything, share with me how you plan to make 22 better. I plan to continue on my path. That's what I'm going to do. I'm already helpful, and maybe I can be more helpful.